Hey guys, William Branch here, Texas Local Lender. Today we're going to talk about how to buy a house after a divorce. So we work with a lot of people going through a divorce. A lot of them, some of them have homes, some of them don't. Typically, we find that one person is going to either be awarded the home, or in some cases, we're going to be selling the home, or the home has already been sold. So how does that work? What happens to that equity? So in that divorce decree, the attorney is going to determine who is awarded the equity in the home. Sometimes we find that one spouse may get the equity, and the other spouse may get equity from a 401k or the checking accounts and so forth. So what we found here lately is that people are divorcing with the pandemic. We seem to be at a rising rate just because of everything that's going on. We go into a lot more detail at a different conversation about all of that. But what needs to happen whenever you're going through a divorce? So for one, I always tell people, if you are going through a divorce, the first thing y'all need to do is you need to separate your accounts. Do we find that you both may be on a credit card or a car note or something like that? Well, what happens when that borrower or that your ex-spouse doesn't make those payments and you're still on that account? That's going to negatively affect your credit. If you're going through a divorce, that's one thing that you need to do is with a divorce, split the accounts, get one person off, pay it off, close the account. I'm not a big fan of closing an account, but first thing you need to try to do is get one of the spouses off of that installment loan, whether it's a car or a credit card. Second's going to be a home. So there's only two ways to be able to get somebody off of a home. First is sell that home. Sell the home, you both are off of it, and you'll be able to go purchase another one, or the other person can actually refinance. The one question you might ask is, William, we have a bunch of equity in the home. How does that other person get it? So what happens in a divorce is called an OWLTY lien. An OWELTY is filed with that divorce that says, hey, the other spouse is to receive X amount of dollars. So if that home is either sold or refinanced, that other spouse is going to get paid that amount. It's a specific number that's listed in the divorce decree on that specific property. So that's something that you need to tell your attorney to file. Most likely, your lender will also tell you about that. Another way is I have sometimes where people, if there's a lot of equity, we can get an exception to where somebody's going through a divorce. They can actually, as long as the divorce has been filed, one of the spouses can go purchase another home while the divorce is being filed. And we file it as sole and separate. There's some legal documentation that needs to be filed, but it is possible. It does need to get approved by your lender up front, so that is an option to look at. Going through that divorce, when you've already finalized your divorce, everything's already gone through, the next piece is that you each have to individually qualify for a mortgage. So whatever you do, that lender is going to do your normal steps of qualification, gathering all your name, your social, date of birth, your income, what do you do? So one person is basically the breadwinner, and a lot of times I'm finding that people are going through a divorce, may have a stay-at-home mom or something like that she wanted to purchase. Well, she's going to have to go, she is going to have a 2-year work history to kind of reestablish herself, whereas the other borrower could potentially qualify on their own. These are super important things whenever you're going through a divorce or things are happening, because make sure you're working with your lender to get everything set up front before the whole divorce is final, so that you can put all the steps, have everything pre-approved and approved. Once the divorce is final, you guys can go out and start searching for houses. If you have any questions, you can always give me a call at 214-789-0477. Like and subscribe our channel. We have lots of content coming out, but if you have any other questions, you can also message us here on YouTube, and we will get right back to you. Thank you for tuning in for Texas Local Lender. We appreciate you. See you next time.